The time is 9:34, and you're still tuned in to Salam Media. And before we went to the break, I did mention that we'll be speaking to Ronewa Mudzanani. I did say he's living with a disability, but what makes him different is he's embracing challenges, celebrating resilience, and redefining abilities. He's the founder of Wales Life for Change. We'll be chatting to him a bit about his organization, Wales Life for Change. What are they all about? And also being a disabled sports person living with a disability, but still being able to play high intensive sport, and also just some of the challenges that he has faced after being diagnosed with cerebral palsy at an early age, and how difficult that was to overcome. But he's joining us on the line, and is going to be telling us a bit more about this and a whole lot more about himself and his organization. Ronewa, how are you? And thank you for joining us on Salam Media, or should I say Nda? Baramini, good morning.
Then Rovuan. Good morning,
Rovua,
everyone.
rovua, rovua,
Good
rorebuang
morning.
Amanda.
Good morning to the host, Salam Media, and everyone, to all the listeners there. I hope everyone is good.
No, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time. I think let's jump right into it. Who's Roneo Mudzanani? Where do you hail from? For those that don't know you, but most importantly, Will's Life for Change. What is that organization all about, and what does it seek to achieve?
When Mudzanani is a 27-year-old who was born in a rural area in Limpopo called Ronewa. When I was born, everything was okay. My mom said she said I had to walk like any child. So the other day I couldn't stand on my own. So when they took me to hospital, they found out that I have a disability called cerebral palsy, which affected my spine. So, coming from rural area with disability is not easy at all, accessibility and everything. So my mom took me to boarding school when I was about to turn 6. It was like more than 70 kilometers from home. And when she took me there, at first I used to think she don't love me because of my condition. But as time goes on, I start to understand why she did it. When I see other kids living disability, I start to love myself, even though it was hard. Uh, but when I look at myself now, I just thank my mom for everything she did for me, because you still find that the children living disability out there were hidden by their parents. So when I'm gonna is a founder of Wix Life Changer. Wix Life Changer is a compassionate and profit organization committed to make a profound impact on the lives of people living with disabilities and their families.
Mm.
So I know the challenges, what they go through. I know the challenges of going to hospital when you need a wheelchair and they told you that you must wait for 8 months. You know, the question is, in that 8 months, what what should the child do? You know, so as the organization, we're trying to support people.
Ronewa, are you still there? Right. Okay, we seem to have lost Ronewa there for just a moment while he was still telling us a bit about his organization and what they are all about. And I think what was the defining moment for him? I think it was when he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy there, and having to use a wheelchair, which I can imagine was a very, very difficult time for him. But what I'm interested to find out, and maybe if you can, join in on the conversation, is if you're faced with such adversity, like for instance, Ronewa here not being able to walk, but ultimately choosing sports, tennis, as something to inspire him and a sport to play, even with so much, adversity and difficulties around him, not being able to walk and, being, put in a position where he's, we know how our communities are and how they can, you know, you know, look at people who are differently abled with a different eye. So, Ronewa, thank you for joining us, and I'm glad you're making back while I'm making this point. You were still touching on your organization a bit, but I want us to take a bit back, about tennis. Where does it fit in the story that is Ronewa? Where did the love for it begin, and what did it do for you? In terms of building up your confidence, and you saying even though you are living with a disability, you're still able to compete and play a very intensive sport.
It's uh, to be honest, when when I when I was growing up, like for me, it was all about me to go to school, get an education, and even my mom, that's what she thought. But then I was introduced to that sport, and I just feel like the sport changed my life a lot, and it made me believe in myself, and knowing that I can do something that able-bodied people they can't do. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm,
So those sports, uh, I've managed to change so many lives. People they know me through sports, a lot of them seeing me on TV, on newspaper, and everything. That's where people they know when they were. And then uh, through me, for me, the organization now, uh, is for me. It was all about giving back to the community, which supported me through my gym. You understand? So
mm,
because I get through my sports life, I get a lot of messages from parents who are having kids living disability that through your life, it made me believe that if I've got a child living disability, I can take the child to school. That's because of tennis. They've seen me through tennis, to understand. And
mm,
through this organization now, we are motivating kids also to be part to play sports, for their fitness and everything. Some people when they've got disability, they just think like they can't do anything at all. You understand? Not knowing what they're capable of inside. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
mm, mm. And touching again on your NGO there. What are some of the projects that you currently in? How can people get involved? How can they help you? Are you raising funds
Mm.
for anything?
Yeah, we are doing a lot of things. Our NGO, we usually focus in rural areas because that's where we think like most of kids living with disabilities are struggling at, and because yes they do get social grants, but it's not enough. You understand? And on our waiting list now, we've got 17 kids who are waiting for wheelchairs. You can understand? And as the organization, we depend on donation, and from different business people, individuals. You understand?
Mm,
So we do home visits. We do visit centers living disabilities. Uh, 2 weeks ago, we visited a center in Pane where there's 11 kids who are living disabilities, where we donated blankets, food parcels, things like that. So the support that we need usually, it's we need support of wheelchairs. You understand? If people they want to buy wheelchairs, they can give us a wheelchair. If they want to donate, they can donate to our account of Waste Life Changer. So that's the project we are working on now, making sure that all those who are on our waiting list who are waiting for wheelchairs, we support them. Because since
mm,
we formed this NGO October last year, we've supported 7 people with wheelchairs, and we've supported 3 kids with walking frame, and 21 youth now who are living with disabilities. they are on leadership now because of this organization. So you can imagine what we've done in a short period of time and without like the big funders and everything, but using whatever we have to assist those who are living with disability.
You did mention that the organization works mainly in rural areas. I'm one person who's also from a rural area. Do you feel like the perception and the way people treat people with disabilities in rural areas is changing? Because I remember back in the day, when you had a family member that was living with a disability, they wouldn't let them leave the house. They wouldn't let them attend school or partake in any kind of activities where they'll be seen by people. Do you see that maybe there's a change, there's a slight change, and there's an understanding now that living with a disability is not a life sentence essentially, and you can still live a normal life and participate in all kinds of sports and education like you yourself, Ronewa, have done?
To be honest, I still feel like there's a lot of work that should be done. I still think like people with disabilities, they are not given enough support. Like example, if I can give example, if we say we are failing in the cities, what will happen in the rural areas? If maybe now there is still a government facility which doesn't accommodate people on a wheelchair, do you think it's enough? I don't think it's enough. What happened? If there's still a company now which, when it was built, they never thought that they should do a bathroom for a wheelchair person, a parking for a wheelchair person. So there's still a lot of things that should be done. I feel like in rural areas, uh, we should do things like campaign, where people are being taught about people with disabilities and everything, because there's still a lot of people out there who feel like a person with disability can't go to school, can't live a normal life like other people. But I've managed to change that in my rural area where I come from. Now, where I come from, people who want to see someone with disability, they see a normal person because through my life I've been managing to do that. So what we need to do is that as an organization, we want to make sure that I know it's not easy, but imagine if we can change sit in rural areas and then in that rural areas there is someone from rural areas that we are monitoring and we are supporting with everything that we can. That person, maybe he or she should become a doctor one day. It means all the people from that rural area now, when they look at that person, it change the mindset of the people. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm,
that's why we
mm,
want to try and give support to the people with disability so that in future in that rural areas, there is someone who is successful with disability. In that way, it changes the mindset of people in that village. So we need to do a lot of work, and then we still need to teach parents that kids living disability, they are like a normal person. If you've got a child living disability, don't hide your child. Don't deny your child access to education. People living disability, they do amazing things. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of amazing things from people who, like, even ask myself, how is this person doing it? To understand?
mm,
But you can be disabled physically, but not in your mind. You understand?
mm.
Yeah.
And looking at Will's life changer, what is your ultimate dream and vision for it? Where do you see it going? What are your ambitions for it in the future?
To be honest, I want this organization to grow, and uh, I believe it's happening. My goal is that we 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 change the whole of Africa. That's my goal, and I believe it's gonna happen. Where with life changer uh, is changing so many lives, not only in South Africa but in Africa. That's what I'm dreaming of, and I believe it's then. I remember 2 weeks back, I received a message from someone in Belgium who plays tennis there. She was like, "Oh, whenever I saw you on newspaper, what does Will's life changer do? That's what I need, you know."
Mm,
And but with the right support and from communities, from business people, those individuals, we can make it possible. You understand? My goal is that I don't want to see any child living disabilities sitting at home doing nothing. You understand? Yes, I know that when it comes to employment in South Africa, uh, things are bad, but I need to see every child with disability getting an education. You know, imagine if there is a child, if a youth now who's like 17 years old in that rural area who have never went to school. You know, I don't want to say that. So our goal as West African is that we change so many lives. We touch so many families. Yes.
mm, mm, mm. And just last before I let you go, those that want to get hold of you, your contact details, website, social media, people that want to support Will's Life Changer, how do they get hold of you?
My contact number is 060
Mm-hmm.
9089. And we've got a Facebook page, Will's Life Changer. We are on Twitter, Will's Life Changer, LinkedIn, Will's Life Changer, on TikTok, Will's Life Changer, and on the website it's Will's Life Changer. Dot, let me see, Will's Life Changer. Um, yeah, just com. Yeah, yeah, on the
Mm-hmm.
website also. So you can send us a message if there is something that you wish you would like to support with. To be honest, any kind of support will appreciate it.
No, thank you so much, Ronewa. There, really, really appreciate you giving us your time. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll be keeping an eye on Will's Life Changer and the work that you'll be doing incredible work for the community there. Rorebu Wangamanda.
Hi, Bizone. Thank you so much for having me.
This on. I will leave it there. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, a very, very inspiring story there. We know the crisis of unemployment in South Africa. I will be speaking to Lena. She's one of the unemployed young people who are, trying to do something of themselves despite the difficult circumstances that they are facing. Doing it all for themselves without anybody's help. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be talking to Lena after this.